Hi, welcome to the training. My name is Singh. Today I will be going over the expense report demo. On the website, there should be a link there. It'll say expense reporting demo, and you can click on that link there. And it will navigate you to the login screen here. Now, this is an end-to-end encryption system, and it has two-factor authentication. So you got to have the Microsoft Authenticator or the Google Authenticator installed on your mobile phone. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log in. And the main goal of this system is really to make it really easy and simple for employees to report their expenses while on travel or doing work. They can submit their expenses, and this is part of the compliance and regulatory process, especially for SOX, and also anti-bribery and anti-corruption regulations. So I'm gonna log in here, and I'll put in my username and password, and now it's gonna ask me for the 6-digit authentication code. So I'm gonna do this off screen here. I'm gonna open up my Microsoft Authenticator app, and it's already set up on my machine. So it's a time count, time-based, one-time password code. So it rotates continuously. So on my Microsoft, and you can also use Google's Authenticator as well. Just have that set up on your mobile device. So I'll input in my 6-digit PIN code. I'll log in, and if you do that correctly, you'll log in. So it's a two-factor authentication there. Okay, so this is the expense disclosure form here, and we're gonna go ahead and fill this out here. So let's just type all that information here. Employee, let's say I am a director. Department, let's say I am in let's say I'm in sales. State, we'll just pick today's state. We'll say travel, the amount that I spent. So we'll say 223 or something. Currency, if you're in the US, it'd be USD. Description, so let's say payment for meeting and meals with, let's say, state regulator or something like that. Okay, regulators. Okay, the recipient is the person that you pay to or for. Say if you're paying for a lunch meeting. Okay, so we'll just let's put in Henry's name, and his title is, let's say, regulator. Okay, his organization is, let's say, he's part of the California State Controller's Office. City, we'll put Sacramento, and country, CA, California, we'll leave it at that. Government official, yes, he is. Okay. Business purpose and rationale, right? So we'll put in professional, meeting, and lunch. Okay. Business relationship, we'll just put in partnership. So we'll put in partnership. Benefit received by company. Did you receive anything? Let's say maybe a trophy. So you want to make sure you declare that. Part of our policy and procedures. Compliance approval. Did you get approval prior to this? We'll say yes. Approval by who? We'll say UNA. We'll put UNA's name in there. Okay. Does this particular expense here need a compliance officer to review? If you're not sure, put yes. And then we're going to upload our receipt. So if you're doing this on your mobile phone or mobile device, you can take a picture of it, choose, and I'll just use this image here. Okay, so you can upload images and PDFs. We're going to certify that this is correct. high risk additional detail. Okay, so this is the part where you usually get the most question about. Interaction type, it'll just take professional. Okay, not personal, professional. Recipient, employer policy and policies compliance. So this is where it's not asking about your policy procedure. It's asking about the person that you're dealing with that went to lunch with you or on travel. Say you paid for their room and board. Uh, did they have or do they have a compliance policy, and do you understand it? Okay, so let's say approved it. Yes. Okay. The threshold check is where did you check to make sure that the amount that you spent, okay, did that fall under your guidelines? Okay, did you check that? For example, a lot of companies, they only allow their employees to spend or pay for a visitor or a professional meeting or lunch. Uh, it has to be under $100 only. Anything over, it met that threshold already. Or let's say you're comping a state regular's room and board, or let's just say a hotel. It's under $500. Then yes, you would say, yeah. Did you meet that threshold? Did you check that? Let's say yes. If you're not sure, just put no. Okay. Once you're done with that, you fill out the form. You attach a receipt of the cost. So if you have multiple receipts for multiple items, you would fill this form multiple times. Okay, for each event. So we're gonna click Submit Disclosure, and it's gonna be done. And so basically, when you click Submit, it's gonna encrypt everything, and it's gonna load it onto your web server, and then back at corporate office, they can download all of that and then run it through, decrypt it. Okay, so it's an end-to-end encryption. We're going to log out here. Okay, so that's the interface. Now I'm going to go on the back end here. So on the back end, once the compliance department usually, or the regulatory department, they download all that stuff. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like here. Everything's encrypted, so it's going to look something similar to this. We'll just open Notepad here so you can see it. So everything's encrypted, and they have the private key to decrypt everything. So they're going to run a utility here. I'm going to resize it so that it's a little smaller. You can see everything here. Okay. So we're going to put in our password, and we're going to hit enter, and then it's going to decrypt everything, save everything. Closed out of that. And then if we check our decrypt file here, it's going to label it by date and time, and then a random function at the end here. But you'll see it's going to open that up there. Attach photos, and it'll put everything in a separate folder. And then this is the JSON file that shows everything that you fill out. One of the reasons it's set up this way, if you're not familiar with how data are transferred, this is in a JSON format. The reason for this is that we're going to import this into a database. Okay, so we had an automation that imports everything into a database. Then we could generate reports. We can analyze all the data. It depends on what your system, how it's integrated. So some company, they don't import into a database system. They just use JSON file and use Power BI to analyze all the files all at once. But most systems, they want to import that into Excel, a database system, Microsoft Access, SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL. So it depends on how your system is set up. That's why it's in this particular format, and then it's very easy to transfer that over and organize and sort and query them. Okay, so that's the system. If you get a chance, you can take a look at it on the website here. It has a lot of security feature on it. um, two-factor authentication, cross-site, uh, time-based login. I mean, they're just all the security measures there to meet the NIST or NIST standards for a secure end-to-end encryption system for your employees to submit their expenses. So the main point of this particular system is usually for accountability, bribery, anti-corruption analysis to make sure that your employees are meeting the strict regulatory guidelines such as SOX guideline, federal or international guidelines. So hope you enjoy that training, and that would be it. Any questions, send them in, and I will respond when I get a chance. Other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.